Joining us is Ben Mankiewicz from Turner Classic Movies, also one of the guys that started the Young Turks. Ben, you're really hitting the film festival scene pretty hard from what I read on the internet.
Yeah, I'm actually in Miami right now as part of Turner Classic Movies Road to Hollywood, where there's a screening tonight here in Miami with Shirley Jones screening Elmer Gantry, and Shirley Jones will do a little Q&A. We did these with Eve Marie Saint in Houston and Philadelphia last week. It was a huge success. It all leads up to our film festival, April 12th through 15th in Hollywood. Plus, I was at the San Luis Obispo Film Festival where I introduced Citizen Kane at Hearst Castle. First time the movie has ever been screened there at Hearst Castle. So that was cool. That was a big deal.
Do you think you're getting a reputation as like the Jewish film festival guy? Like, will you get calls from like the Decatur, Alabama Jewish Film Festival to go and present Citizen Kane, for example, or something?
Yeah, that's right. I also was at the Atlanta Jewish Film Festival where, believe it or not, I was heckled. or as my colleague Michael Shore says, sheckled.
Right.
When you get heckled at the Jewish Film Festival.
Well, let's talk about VPs on this Republican side. Who actually makes sense to consider as a vice presidential candidate if you are Mitt Romney or Rick Santorum? Would you go with a guy like Marco Rubio or Jeb Bush? Would you consider someone who is actually trying to get the presidential nomination? I have no idea what makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, first of all, I don't think we can. I mean, look, in the purposes of this conversation, we can have fun and wonder who Rick Santorum will pick. Rick Santorum has a 1.2% chance of getting the nomination. I mean, I'll grant it's not zero. He has a chance, but it's not going to happen. The scenario by which Santorum soars past Romney is so far something dramatic happened to Romney, in which case I think that there'd be an overwhelming push for another candidate. Like, it still wouldn't be Santorum. So I don't see any way that it's not Mitt Romney. And I think the question of who Romney picks is a fascinating one, because a sort of a cursory analysis of it would say, well, he's seen as a moderate and the conservatives in the party, the Tea Partiers, don't trust him. So pick someone like Santorum, pick a darling of the Tea Party movement, pick a social conservative. I think in general that would be a mistake. I think that the one thing Romney has going for him, and will have in November, is this overwhelming desire that Republicans have to beat Obama. Clearly, they don't trust Romney, but my hunch is they'll turn out enough for him. And I would pick a grown-up, and I would pick a moderate Republican. There hardly are anymore, but I would think sort of a guy like Mitch Daniels would be great and would probably deliver Indiana a state Obama won. I think that matters. Obviously, there's something to Marco Rubio. He seems sort of inexperienced. I'd sort of tout, hey, look, we're the grown-ups. We're the business grown-ups, and we're going to get this done.
Yeah, I mean, I recently saw an interview with Mitch Daniels, and to be honest, the guy, I didn't find him despicable, which I know it's a low bar to start with for a Republican candidate,
Totally.
But I really didn't. I actually found the guy, he seemed intelligent. He seemed to at least present views from the Republican Party in a way that wasn't a huge turnoff to me. There might be something to Mitch Daniels.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, Mitch Daniels is, now there was a reason why he didn't run for president, and apparently his wife wasn't up for it, and they have a intriguing family history that I'm sure that they don't want brought up. I say that, I don't even say that disparagingly. Who doesn't have a family history like that? Interesting people have interesting family histories. She didn't seem to want to go through that, so she probably doesn't want to go through it for vice president. The other guy who I didn't mention, who has a similar career track of Daniels, is Rob Portman, now in the Senate from Ohio. Both these guys were budget directors. Again, they appear to be grown-ups, and I think that is Romney's best claim, that the serious people are here to fix the economy. And you Tea Partiers and social conservatives who are hung up on these other issues, look, you want to come along, we want you to come along, but if you want your own candidate out there, I think they're going to be disappointed. But I think they should disappoint me. From Obama's point of view, Romney and Robin, or Romney and Mitch Daniels, I think once we get through all this nonsense of the primary season, that's a real opponent. That's a real candidate.
Yeah, I mean, we're starting the bar low. An adult who doesn't disgust us immediately, but we'll continue looking at it as it grows. On the Obama side, I've been saying Obama has not done a good job of touting the good things about the healthcare reform bill. He's not really talking very much about getting bin Laden, something you would think conservatives would like. I mean, when and is he going to kind of turn up the heat on what has he actually accomplished, which I think he's accomplished a lot, if he's just not talking about it.
Yeah, I mean, I trust Obama, the campaigner, much more than Obama, the policymaker, the executive. So I think that's there. I think there's clearly been more of it, because until about 4 months ago, I'd forgotten that he bailed out the auto industry, like at least reminded of it during this campaign season. And he talked about it obviously in particular regard to and Santorum and Romney being against it. So yeah, I think there needs to be more of that. I think the killing of Osama bin Laden, Biden talked about it yesterday, or over the weekend. That looms so large and is so obvious, I don't even think they have to talk about it that much. It will get talked about. I mean, this Democratic that has existed for campaign after campaign, that of being seeming weak on foreign policy, Obama's just not going to have that. He killed Osama bin Laden, and he sort of hung in there on these two wars, but is at least trying to get us out of it. Although Afghanistan is not going to be a positive politically for any it wouldn't be a positive politically for any president.
All right, well, we're going to keep an eye on what exactly Obama does. We've been speaking with Ben Mankiewicz, Turner Classic Movies, also one of the guys that started the Young Turks. If you need him for a film festival, if you need someone for a film festival, you are really the guy.
Don't heckle me, for the love of God. Don't heckle me. I'm trying to help.